So episode 3. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright. So this episode is centered around parents.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, to start off, would you call yourself a mama's boy?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah? But your mom is she's not, I mean, at least from the interactions that I've had with her, she's not like your typical Asian mother who thinks that her son walks on like gold.
Of course she does.
No, she doesn't. She's really nice, okay? I don't know what.
I mean, she's really nice.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah. But
And she thinks that I walk on gold, obviously. I'm her firstborn son.
But you're not her only son.
I'm the better son.
Are you very like publicly saying this because your brother is no longer around?
Why do you think they packed him off to Australia?
And I mean, I heard that you're stealing his room and all of that too.
Of course.
Well, I obviously do not have the privilege of being the firstborn son, but I am the first child and only daughter, so I guess I do have some perks that come along with it. Maybe not from my mom, but definitely from my dad. I mean, no shade to my mom, but you know. I have some very interesting Asian parent stories to share with you today.
Okay.
So, but okay, when it comes to your mom and dad, who would you say you are closer to?
I think my mother.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
yeah,
you go to-
I share more with my mother. My father is very soft-spoken, in the sense, not soft-spoken, but he doesn't speak much.
Right. Listen, military man versus soft-spoken.
No, not soft. That was the wrong term.
Yeah.
As in, he doesn't like to talk much.
Okay.
But I still tell him everything.
Okay.
But I think I talk a lot more with my mother.
But both your parents were in the
military.
forces. Yeah,
True.
yeah. So, but like, how does that, like, I mean, obviously we know that it's very rigid and there is a lot of rules and all of that. How does that translate to your, like, family life? I mean,
My father brought in a lot of his military training back home.
yeah.
So I
But
used
none of it seems to have worked on you.
It didn't work. No, but like, back then he used to wake me up at like 4 o'clock before school.
Right.
And then I had to run.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay, so I am finding new things about you. I didn't know. Okay.
I had to like exercise, so I had to run. So
Where is that exercise, Sheshan? Where did it go?
Well, I have nothing to say. I clearly lacked discipline to
Very
continue.
obviously, yeah.
My father tried to instill a lot of good values. So he used to.
Yeah.
So I think my mother also was initially into it.
Yeah.
But then it was
With
more my
time.
father who was the more physically active person. So he used to wake me up in the morning. He used to get me to run and then exercise.
Yeah.
And then if I don't arrange the bed, I used to get hit.
Right.
And then
Very normal Asian parenting.
yeah, and then I had to wash my dishes.
Yeah, of course.
They tried to instill the whole wash my clothes and fold it, but I never picked that up.
Right.
I still wash my dishes,
Yeah, of course.
but but the whole folding the clothes thing never really got to me. Even the arranging the bed thing never got to me.
Actually, same. Same.
My father
I wash my
really tried.
dishes, but-
Like after I skipped 20, he was just like, you know what, forget about it.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered anymore.
I mean, so obviously my mom is a housewife.
Yeah.
So I grew up around her a lot, whereas I told you this before, like my dad is like such a workaholic. I think I am like close to both my parents, and it's gotten better over the years for sure. But as any typical like brown household, I didn't have the easiest relationship with my mom growing up. And I think it's also because she and I are very similar in personalities. Like that's something that my husband always points out, like you are just like your mother, like the way you say things, do things, and then you get mad at her for doing the exact same things. So I think it's like it's not something, it's a very common thing in like brown
My
mom
mother
and
and
daughter
I had a
relationship.
great relationship because she was always very loving, caring.
Yeah.
She never hit or scolded. She scolded me for
Yeah.
sure, but I deserved it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, honestly, like I've never met your mom, I think, but I've spoken to her like quite a few times, and she's always been super nice and super sweet to me. Because like I think obviously this was back when we were working, but I've had quite a few conversations with her.
My father, when I was young, used to be very strict.
Yeah.
So he used to be the one to scold and hit and all that. But then after I left school,
So you,
I think after I had our first drink, We had a
You had a clash.
great relationship after that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that.
Not a clash, are you
Okay,
mad?
okay.
I've never clashed with my parents.
Are you, so you are the good boy?
Of course.
Yeah, the star
Poster
boy.
boy.
Poster. Okay, well, I don't know if I would go that far, but do you believe in like? Do you think that, especially like from an Asian culture, it's easy, or like we can have good relationships with our parents, or like because of the culture and
Of course, I think Asian culture gives you the opportunity to have a better relationship with your parents. Because I think in at least from the people that I've interacted with abroad,
yeah,
they usually move out of the house when they're
for
18,
sure.
19.
Yeah.
You know,
They don't have the same support that we do.
correct.
Yeah.
And I mean, we grow older with our parents, we take
For sure.
care of them.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very nice relation because it's only as you get older that you
You
start
learn to appreciate them more.
Exactly.
100%. I agree
There's
with
a
that.
there's a saying I think in Sinhala where they say first you love them, then you misunderstand them, then you understand them.
Okay.
So you when
It's
you're
a
when you're young,
progression.
you obviously love your parents.
Yeah, of
When you're
course.
in that teenage thing, you
Yeah.
misunderstand
Yeah,
what they're doing
yeah.
because they don't let you go out.
That's true.
They don't, there's a lot of restrictions.
Yeah.
But then as you get older,
You
you
understand them.
understand why they made the decisions they made
Yeah.
and so on.
And I also feel like now we are both the first child of our families.
Mm.
And that has a big impact, especially like when you are from like an Asian household.
Because you're like the guinea pig.
100%. Like sometimes my parents will like let my brothers do things or behave in ways where if I had done that,
Impossible.
my ass would have been so red from the smacking I would have gotten. It's
Absolutely.
absurd, right? It's like, you are coming home at 9 o'clock. Is this a time for you to come home? He comes home at 2. Did you have a good time? So this is complete absurdity to me. But I mean, honestly, like I think as parents also they evolve to and understand like what's
Yeah, my brother had a lot easier time than I did.
for sure. For sure.
I used to get beat up for everything.
Same, dude. Same. I don't think they've like even hit my brother like 5 or 6 times in his entire life. So, having said that, I have some very interesting Reddit stories. Okay. Okay. I think maybe you. I mean, this doesn't really relate to your mom specifically, but I think a lot of Sri Lankans can relate to this. My parents hate my girlfriend and it's destroying my mental health. I, 18 male, have been with my girlfriend for around 20 months now. We've been through a lot together, especially early on when our relationship started under really tough circumstances. The problem wasn't between me and her, it's been my parents from the start. They absolutely hate her. Her parents are kind and supportive of us, but mine have tried to break us up multiple times. When they couldn't force it, they switched tactics, psychological manipulation, guilt tripping, and just straight up emotional abuse. They constantly talk badly about her in front of me, trying to twist things to make her seem like a bad person, even though they barely know her. They say really hurtful, unnecessary things about her and then act like they're just being honest or looking out for me. Whenever I ask to spend time with her, they say yes, but it's always loaded with guilt. They make sarcastic or passive aggressive comments like, you're 18, do whatever you want, live freely, we're not stopping you, while clearly implying that they disapprove and that I'm making a huge mistake. It's a constant psychological warfare that's tearing me up inside. They technically love things, but make me feel like crap for doing them. It's taken a massive toll on my mental health. I felt isolated, depressed, and just mentally worn down. I shouldn't feel ashamed for loving someone who treats me right, and yet they make me feel like I'm betraying them just for being happy. I'm stuck between trying to keep the peace at home and trying to be with someone that makes me happy. What do I do? I think this is very difficult. For me personally, I would think.
I've never had that. I mean, I've had my parents disapproving of the girls I'm with,
Yeah.
but they would never go as far as to do that. Their whole thing is as long as you're happy, we are happy.
Yeah.
This is our opinion about it.
Yeah.
You can either take it or leave it.
Okay.
So they've never pressured me in that sense. They never let me have a girlfriend when I was in school.
Obviously, that makes sense. I mean, that's such like, I mean, are we surprised? Are we surprised?
But then after they found out, they were fully supportive. They
Yeah.
said, like, especially if they felt the girl was someone who was more outgoing and was going clubbing and all of that,
Yeah.
then they would say it. They're like, this is probably not the best person for you.
Okay.
And then I think that also, because
Does it play a part in how you would approach the relationship? Did
probably,
it?
because I'm very close to my parents.
Exactly.
I
yeah.
love them.
Yeah.
And I take what they say seriously, because I know at the end of the day what they say is they are thinking in my best interests.
Yeah.
So I might outwardly retaliate to them,
But
but inwardly I would
it's-
take them very seriously.
I think that what you just said, it's so true, because you don't really want to accept the fact that they're right.
Correct.
And you definitely don't want to tell them that. But inward, like inside your head, you're thinking about it.
Because most of the time now, even when not even about relationships, but even other things, when they
In
tell
life,
me things,
yeah.
they think I don't take them seriously.
But you do.
Yeah, I do.
Of
Of
course,
course I
yeah.
do. And then they keep telling things like, you should take what we say seriously, you should listen to us, maybe
Yeah.
your life will go right. And I'm like, I do listen to you. It's just that
I just don't want to admit it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. No, for sure. Like, I think, so my parents were obviously dead set against the fact that I should not date. I mean, they were set against the fact that I shouldn't be dating when I was in school. Did not listen to them, got caught to them dating two different people while I was in, I mean, not at the same time, obviously, but I dated two people while in school. And then as soon as I left school, I started dating somebody. They were very chilled out about it, like very cool. But my dad had this one thing: if you are dating a boy, I have to meet him and talk to him, and then we are just going to ignore everything to do with your relationship. Like, we don't want to know that it exists. But obviously, I was like only 18 at that time. Funny thing was, when like they wanted to make, at this point I had been with the same dude for like 3 years. When they wanted to like maybe have a chat with his parents and see where the hell it was going, because it had been 3 years, was when I said, oh, by the way, like we might have broken up. But no, like they've always been very supportive of my relationships. But there was just, after I left school, there was one guy that I dated that my mother could not absolutely stand. But she also found out that I had dated him after we had broken up, so I was safe. But she yelled at me. But I think it definitely plays a big part. But it, like you said, it also depends on your relationship with your parents. If you want
so
a
I
good
think
relationship,
when we were in school,
Yeah.
we had to lie to them,
for sure.
because
Yeah,
that
and-
safe space was not there.
Coming back.
You would have got yelled at.
But also, no, like the thing is this: at 18 years of age, I feel like you don't really know what love is and what you're looking for in a partner. So it sucks to be in that position where you have to feel like you have to choose between two groups of people that you love.
I think as parents, I think my parents do this really well. They give me the freedom to do what I want.
Yeah.
And their thing is, whatever happens, you can
You have to
fail,
face
you
the
can
consequence.
pass, we'll support you.
Okay.
That's good. Even when my brother was going abroad, for example, they said, whatever happens, it doesn't matter whether you succeed there, you don't succeed there, you get PR, you don't get PR, you can always come back here, we'll
Yeah.
take care of you.
Yeah.
That is very important. And
Yeah.
now this kind of psychological manipulation by parents is
is-
a really bad thing
And
to
I
do.
think, like, honestly, this is not something that you and I will ever be able to relate, because we don't have that type of relationship with our parents. But I mean, it definitely sucks, and this guy needs therapy.
His parents need therapy.
For sure. Sorry. Their entire family needs therapy.
Oh, poor, but I know a family like this. They're terrible. But genuinely, the whole family needs therapy, because the kids are traumatized by the parents.
That's a big
Parents only need the actual therapy.
Therapy,
Kids need therapy to get out of the...
traumatization that has happened. Yeah, that's I agree. Okay. So, next story? Okay. Run away from home at 25.
You should be out of the house by 25. What is that to run away from?
Hold on. Wait, let's see. Hello, everyone. As many of you know, Asian parents usually don't allow their kids to move out except for marrying or maybe job, no matter the age. Well, I'm a 25 female and sick of my strict, controlling father. I'm almost done with uni and told my mom I want to move out. Mom supports me in this and even agrees that my father is doing 100% wrong. God bless her. But my father overheard this and he yelled at me and raised his fist, threatening me that if I move out, I will be disowned. disowned and will never get a single cent from him, and that I will end up poor. I will be completely erased from the house and can never visit. I have 65,000 euros saved up and invested in stocks, gold, and cash. I want to graduate, then either do masters or get a job. Currently, I already have a job that would accept me after graduation. Have any of you experienced something like this? Is it usually an empty threat, or has anyone truly been disowned forever? My mom loves me and supports me, so it's only my father who threatened me.
Let's focus on the fact that she has 65,000 euros saved up.
Girl, tell me about it. Like, how do I save that? But for like, honestly, like, if you have 65,000 euros saved out, like,
Do what you want, man.
Exactly. I mean, like, if it's 65,000 rupees, then for sure stay at home. But if it's euros, I mean,
I think we can move on from that story after saying that. There's nothing more to talk about there.
No, but you know what? Honestly speaking, like, forget taking the money out of this story. This is actually a problem that actually most of my friends also face, because some of their I don't think my parents would have ever let me move out either, or they would. I don't know if they would have cut me off.
I know a lot of my friends who want to move out of their house. But
are we talking about guys or girls?
Guys.
Okay.
But
I think that makes that that classification also holds some standing whether we like it or not.
Yeah. So I know a lot of my friends who want to move out of their houses. But one thing that's in common is it's not that they don't love their parents, but they're also not too close with their parents. Now, I've never had the urge to move out of my house. Because I'm very close with my parents.
Course, yeah.
I enjoy my time with them. I enjoy talking to them. I enjoy seeing them. So their thing is also, until you marry, you never have to leave.
Yeah.
My thing is also, until I marry, I don't have to leave.
Yeah.
I don't want to live alone. That's also why I didn't go abroad, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't.
'Cause
It's
I
lonely for
hated
you. You need somebody to constantly shower you with attention. From your mom to your wife. Is that the part?
Yeah,
This is why you have not been successful in any of your previous relationships.
because I want them to.
No, you've dated independent women who are like, no, I can't deal with this. No, but I think it's for sure true. And I agree with what you said. Somebody washed my clothes for me. Somebody cooked my meals for me. Somebody cleaned my room for me. Why on earth would I want to go out and do that by myself?
Live on my own, man. I've never understood the need to do that. A lot of my friends would heartily disagree.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense.
But also, like, I'm not gonna lie, there have been genuinely like a few days where I've wanted to pull my hair out because it was stressful. I've had like clashes with my parents, which is very normal for any kid, I think. But
there are disagreements for sure.
100%.
But that doesn't mean I've never wanted to move out. That thought has never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. But I do have to say this though. My parents, like, at one point it was very frustrating for me because I was not given the freedom that I wanted. Like, for example, like, I was never allowed to go out and stay like, if I came home at 2:00, I would have been slapped. Right?
That was the case for me during school. But then I found a lot of workarounds through my extracurriculars.
So did I. And they were very supportive of those extracurriculars too.
So when I used to do interact or drama or whatnot, I could stay out till like 2-3 in the night.
Yeah.
And then some days my dad would pick me up, but some days I would find excuses and kind of say a friend is dropping me.
Yeah.
So there were ways. After I left school, I think I started working immediately. So I started earning for myself. After that, it was just a matter of, hey, I'm going out, I'll come back at whatever time.
I think obviously it's a little different given the fact
True.
that, like,
I think gender-wise, it probably
plays
a bit
definitely
different.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, like, it used to be very frustrating, but now that I am like 28, I have only appreciation for that, because I feel like if I was allowed to do those things that some of my even younger peers were allowed to do and stay out late or party that heavily at that age, I wouldn't have been able to walk the path that I have walked today.
And I think some of the best stories that we have
is lying to our parents.
Exactly. I mean, if they allowed us to do half the things we actually did.
For sure. And you know what? Like, recently...
Bro, there is a video we found, We went on trip recently. We found this old video from us. I think 3 or 4 months before A levels, my friends are rolling.
Yeah.
Can I say it? No.
I mean, I'm just rolling something.
They were rolling something.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a video saying, Machang, we are the. Okay, I can't say this properly, but they're saying we are this school's prefects.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 months before A levels, and this is what we are doing. Right? We had jumped out of school during school hours. Half the buggers are in like school slacks, shirtless.
I have no comment.
So now see, that kind of thing is fun.
Yeah.
Because imagine our parents let us do that kind of thing. That would have been absurd.
Exactly. And like recently my mom
They would have
made
been
this
terrible parents.
for sure. And recently, so my mom made a comment about how, so you know that I'm very close with my siblings. I made a comment about like how we don't really lie to each other. So she knows that we lie for each other too. And she said, yeah, I know, like, you all lie to me a lot and I just pretend that you all don't, and you think I buy your excuses, but I want you to know that some of these lies that you all have told me throughout the years, I know that they were lies. I might not know everything that happened, but
There was one instance. My brother had been caught playing video games at this video game pub or something like that, okay? So now I had just left school. This was 2019 or 2020.
Yeah.
Now my mother wanted to clarify if he had actually been going there.
Okay.
Now, it's a dodgy ass place, okay?
All right.
So we went there and she said, okay, show a picture of him to the guy there, ask if he has been coming. Now obviously I'm not going to sell my brother out. Okay?
Yeah.
So I went upstairs. It's a friend of mine who owns the place. Okay. And I go up to him and I'm like, Macha, has my brother been coming here? He's like, yeah, Macha, this bug has been coming all the time. I'm like, come on, Siri. If my mother comes and asks you, tell he has never been here.
But you know what? That is, as siblings, you should definitely have each other's backs. Yeah.
Because there were a lot of things that I did that he never told my parents.
100%.
And obviously there's a lot of things that he did that
But
I
it's
never
also
told
like
him.
after a certain age, I feel.
Yeah, because there's a 6-year gap between me and him.
Yeah.
So he was obviously very small, but I made it clear from the time that he was young that you don't sell each other out.
Yeah.
So don't tell anything to our parents. And he knew the repercussions if he did so.
This poor boy. So for us, it was mostly when we were in school. So me and the old one, we have a 3-year age gap, and then 10 years with the youngest. The older one, back in school, if I spoke to a boy, he would go and say, Ami, Aki arayat ekka ada katha karala hitiya ara gahalaga. So from that to where we are now, where we party together and all of that, like, we've definitely come a long way. So very appreciative of that. And I'm also very appreciative of our parents too, for like really cultivating that relationship. Because I feel like parents can make or break your sibling relationship.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing. So I'm very grateful.
And there's a lot of, I think in Sri Lanka also, there's a lot of sibling rivalries.
Dude, it's insane.
For like land, houses.
Tell me about
They
it.
don't talk to each other.
And
it's terrible.
so for me, I know we're kind of getting sidetracked, but like for me, my mom is an only child. My dad has 7 siblings, so I get the best of both worlds. Something that my parents have already like kind of instilled in us is like Ami and Tati are going to die off at some point. You're going to be left with your siblings whether you like it or not. So
how's the relationship your dad has with his family?
very good.
Same. So even my mom and dad
Yeah.
have good relationships
Yeah.
with their siblings.
And funnily enough, my mom, who is the daughter-in-law, has a better relationship with my father's siblings than my dad does, because my dad is obviously too busy. So she's the one who keeps in touch with all my aunts. Like when some of them need to like come, they are from Gaul, so if they need to come get medicine or whatever, she coordinates all of that. She takes my aunts to the doctors. So, but they've also like really accepted her into the family, starting with like her in-laws, like her father-in-law and mother-in-law. They really treated her like part of the family from day one. So she genuinely enjoys doing all of those things for those people.
Yeah, I think having those good family connections is very
It's very important. And it also like we grew up looking at those type of bonds. So
Yeah.
it's very important for us also to have that, no, with our kids, our siblings, and all of that.
Yeah, bro, there are like when we were reading news and all,
Yeah.
we've heard stories, right, where the brother kills the other brother because of like
Dude,
a land issue.
absurd,
And
absurd.
those all are there were instances where the son
Son-
kills the
it's a
father.
Yeah, yeah.
So those are all.
Yeah, it's. I think obviously it all
It
starts
comes
in
from
your
the
home.
family. Yeah,
100%.
and the example that the parents,
Parents set for sure.
You
For
can't
sure.
really say, when you say Asian parents, we are categorizing all
All the
parents as
parents
the same.
same. Yeah,
But I think that's really wrong because
I agree.
from family to family, it really depends.
It really does, and it also depends on like what the relationship between the mother and father itself is too. So yeah, okay. Next story. I think we got really sidetracked on that one. Okay. All right. 18 male. My parents think even calling them is a waste of study time, feeling lonely and drained. Is this normal?
Oh my god.
Hi, I'm 18, currently staying in a hostel while prepping for entrance exams. Lately, every time I call my parents, they either don't pick up or cut the conversation short, saying I should be studying instead of wasting time talking. I don't waste time on social media, barely talk to anyone else, only 2 friends maybe once a month and my parents. But if I don't call them, they never call me back. What hurts the most is that everyone in my hostel gets at least a call a day from their parents. For me, nothing. Unless I initiate, even then the call ends fast with zero emotional connection. Even when I'm feeling low and want someone to talk to, they either shut me down or talk like they're too busy. It feels like I'm speaking to a wall. If I'm lucky, I might get 30 minutes a day max. I love them, but this is mentally draining. It's making me feel isolated and it's affecting my focus. I try so hard to study, but it feels like the energy just drains out of me. I don't even know if it's normal for parents to be like this. Is this common or am I just overthinking things? Would really appreciate any advice, even if someone just tells me I'm not alone.
That's
That's
not
really
common
sad.
at all.
Yeah.
That's like an extreme case. I mean,
Yeah.
I think, okay, Asian parents in general, I think want their kids to study.
For sure.
I mean, your parents,
yeah,
my parents,
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah, I think that is one stereotype that we cannot argue with.
I remember when I was young, my father used to keep me close to him and then he used to teach me maths. More than me making the sum, it was
That's
him
so
hitting me on the-
traumatizing. I swear to you, like Asian parents should not be teaching their own kids anything. Like I was so traumatized when my dad tried to teach me how to drive. That I was like, you know what? I don't even want to learn how to drive. I'd rather take a bus.
Yeah.
But this is really sad. I
But
feel
yeah.
so bad.
This is like an extreme case.
That's true, but
Parents, I think in general, really want their kids to study.
yeah.
I think that might change with our generation.
Yeah,
I don't
true.
know, like if I become a parent, I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis on school studies.
Okay.
I think,
Skills.
huh?
Are you like in terms of are you more focusing on skills or
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would get my kid to get enrolled in as many extracurriculars and
100%.
sports as much as
Yeah.
possible. Because honestly, if I look at how I turned out of school, I don't think I use anything I learned in the classroom in my actual life.
Yeah.
Whereas what I learned from different clubs and societies, sports, the charisma I built by
For sure.
taking part in like theater and stuff, the connections I made or the people I got to know, all the opportunities I have today is because of that.
Yeah.
I don't think I sat in class and learned anything that has helped me now,
Yeah.
except maybe to read and write.
For me.
other than that,
Yeah.
science, maths,
Yeah.
whatever.
Especially not in
Nothing-
our line of work at least.
Correct,
yeah.
correct.
I mean we need the smart people too.
We need the smart people too,
Yeah.
but I think generally, I don't know. I wouldn't force my kid to sit down and get 90 marks for every subject. I mean, if he does, great.
Great,
If he
yeah,
or
of
she
course.
does, great. But it's not something I would force on a kid. See, the fact that you and I can speak English well
Yeah.
and that we are confident. I don't know about you, but for me, all the jobs I've got so far is simply because of that.
Yeah.
It's purely based on me being able to speak English and speak confidently.
100%.
That's it.
Yeah.
And honestly, where did I gain that skill from? Not by sitting in the classroom and getting 90 for my marks or
Yeah.
90 for my subjects. It's by doing different extracurriculars.
I 100% agree.
Right.
Actually, you know what? Weirdly enough, like even the fact that I am able to do this
Yeah.
right, is because is because of being able to speak English. Say, okay, forget, I can do it in another language, can go. But the support that I got in order for me to do this are also through friends that I've met doing extracurricular things.
Correct.
So that's definitely, you're right, like we should definitely move away from that, sit
Yeah,
down
man,
and
like I teach little kids, right?
Yeah.
Kids that are like 12, 13.
yeah,
The amount of classes they have is baffling to me.
yeah,
I don't know why parents put kids for extra. I mean, for O levels, it's okay. For A levels, it's okay. Who goes for classes when they're in grade 7 or 8, man? I feel really, really bad for these kids.
yeah,
And, you know, they come for like theater and performing arts to us. So I just try to create like a very nice, fun environment for all of them. Because I know outside of that, whenever they're in these classes and all, they're stressed, man.
I mean, even like if you take these like massive group classes in like the local education system, it's absurd. But when it comes close to exams, like 12, 13 hours of classes, and how much can a brain like honestly absorb?
That's true. And I think the fact that, I don't know, for me at least, what I think is the fact that I had friends that like to have fun
Yeah,
played a big role in helping me have a good childhood.
a well-rounded
A
child.
well-rounded childhood, as opposed to just focusing on studies. Because when you listen to a lot of people and how their school life went, all they've done is just sit in a class and study.
Dude, and honestly, you know, I think again, like, say, obviously, since we're speaking of like parents and our familial relationships and all of that, it definitely comes back to like that relationship you have with your parents and how open your parents are. Because my parents could have very well been like, no, you just go to school, study, and come back. Whereas I was allowed, I had a sport or a after school activity every single day.
Yeah.
And even on the weekends, and those things are not cheap, they're very expensive. I was never said no, you can't do that. If you want to do it, you can try it. The only thing was I couldn't stop anything halfway. Like if you start a sport,
My thing was I
you have
couldn't
to
get low
commit.
marks. As long as I didn't get low marks, I could do whatever I wanted. So my O-level year, I acted for shakes and all. My A-level year, literally while my A-level papers were going on, I was studying the script because I had got the main role that year.
This is again for shakes.
Shakes. So Shakes was 2 weeks after A-levels ended. By the time A-levels ended, I knew the entire script.
Yeah.
Because more than study from A-levels, I actually sat and studied the script. But my parents were cool with that because they were like, okay, you can do what you want, just get a good result.
Yeah.
And
Did you actually get good results or did you fail?
I didn't fail. I actually got 2 A's and a B.
Not bad. Wow. Okay.
So
There are some smarts in there. Even though it doesn't look it. Yeah.
But I mean, I think in one way, parents should be strict on a kid's
For
studying.
sure.
Because if you
100%.
completely let them go, you
They
never know where they'll end up.
Then
But at the same time, this is terrible.
yeah.
Because a kid should be allowed to have some kind of relaxation. Man.
And emotional support. Like, I think that's the biggest thing with Asian parents. Most Asian parents need therapy. Let's be realistic.
Now, I think I can't relate to this at all because
Same.
I am the one shutting down my mother's calls or my father's calls, saying I am too busy.
Also same.
Whereas they are
If my
trying to
mother
call
sees
me.
this, she will always grumble because every time I call her, I expect her to pick it up and be like, yes, my child, tell me, talk to me. And every time she calls, I am always busy with something. And she's like, you
But
never
that is
pick up
actually
my
how
calls.
that dynamic works. Like, when I call, she always answers and she's always there. When she calls, I'm always like,
We are
busy.
terrible children.
We are terrible children. We are like this, but the other way around.
I'm always busy. Okay. Okay. So then I have the last kind of story for this. Okay. I am so effing tired of my parents asking me to buy something for them only to say, oh, I didn't mean it when I bought the thing for them. Okay, wow. From the small stuff to the big stuff, like as small as bread from the store, oh, I'm just kidding, to an expensive overseas snack, I didn't mean for you to actually buy it, to jewelry, to AirPods, etc. I'm not even trying to please them or anything. I still live with them, so I'm just trying to co-inhabit peacefully. Like if I'm going to the store and you ask me to buy some bread, why would I even say no to that? I wasn't even asking for money or anything. I would have said yes to anyone asking me to buy them some bread if I'm about to go to the store. And then I come back and give it as it goes, oh, I was just kidding. What the hell? What am I supposed to do?
I feel like the parents are like practical jokers.
I have like no comments.
I don't even know. I don't relate to that at all.
But like, do you think like people like this exist? I'm sure. I mean, I'm 100% sure they do, but just not in our little
So
atmosphere.
this is a real comment from a real person.
I would assume so. Yeah. I mean,
that-
the story's up, but
The parents look like they just like to play pranks. Like, oh,
or
buy
they're
me
just
something.
like generally very unappreciative. Which is the thing. Like I know that there are parents that
This
aren't.
doesn't sound like they're unappreciative. It just sounds like, who says I have to buy a loaf of bread and then say you're kidding? That's just nonsensical. I feel like that's a very stupid story.
It really is. Maybe I shouldn't have picked that story. I didn't really do a proper read through. I just read like the first paragraph and thought, you know what, this will work. So maybe we have time for another story.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Since that one was like so bad.
That one wasn't that great.
Sorry. I mean, listen.
No, the thing is, that's like very absurd. I mean, I don't think a lot of people would relate to that.
True. And like, is this something that is actually even like a big deal?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So
And who says they just want to co-inhabit with their parents? That's
probably people who have shitty relationships with their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think this one is okay. Let's see. Dad's anger issues finally made me break down. There's currently a heat wave where I live and the AC never reaches my room. So I got a portable AC installed. Shortly before the heat wave, my father, for some reason, tampered with my AC and it stopped working properly. Just an hour ago, I worked up the courage to ask him what he did to it. I am terrified of questioning him and just him in general because he's an abusive man. My dad responded by angrily ripping out the housing of my AC and disassembling it. He didn't even say a word to me or respond to my question. He just ripped out everything without explanation. He started trying to fix it afterwards, but I was so taken aback by how angry he was that I just started crying, and I still am. My mom was in the room while it happened and she played it off by just smiling the entire time. When I found out that I was crying, my dad thought it was because he disassembled my AC, when in reality, it was because of how angry he was over a small issue. If he simply explained why he tampered with my AC a few days ago and said that he would try fixing it and disassembled it in a calm manner, I wouldn't have cried. My mom came to comfort me when I left the room. I told her I was scared of him, that this isn't normal and he's abusive. My mom, using the same excuse she always uses, says that's just how he is. Now she's definitely going to relay what I said over to him, because anytime I complain about him to her, she snitches on me. I would think that we would connect through our shared abuse, but it seems like she thinks she earns my dad's favor by snitching on me. I also regret what I told her while I was an emotional wreck. While what I said is true, knowing that my mom is going to tell my dad that I think he's abusive scares me. All I want is a gentle and kind father. Okay, that last line was very sad.
Yeah.
Thoughts? I
These
mean,
are
it's a very heavy...
extreme cases.
Yeah.
Like,
But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel
that's also
bad
why
for
kind of
people.
people like, just because you and I don't relate to it, there's so many people on Reddit specifically that can relate to these stories and give really good advice. We might obviously not be professionally inclined or
I mean, all we can do, I mean, that what we are doing is also just commenting on things.
yeah.
But that's a tough one. I mean, that's a very extreme case, I guess.
Yeah, and like I think this is one person that definitely needs to move out of the house.
Yeah.
If you are feeling unsafe around your parents, then for sure. And if your mom is sort of enabling your dad, that's another problem. And these, I mean, I feel like even though this is not common to you and I, these are very common things. And again, this whole mother going and saying things to the father, it happens in every household.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not obviously this extreme, doesn't have these extreme negative
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I know. I mean, even my family, my mother says everything to my father.
Exactly.
There's nothing we can
And
say in confidence that
absolutely
it won't go to
nothing,
my-
none whatsoever. Like he will definitely, even if he doesn't know by the end of that day, he will know within the week. So
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we are dead scared of our father. I mean,
For
there was a
sure.
time I was dead scared of my father, but
Not anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not like this.
Absolutely. And I think it's also very common, like where I know of instances, it might have even happened in like with my parents, where I felt like it, where I would like make a mistake or something, or I would have a fight with my mom and she would complain about it to my dad, and then I would get blagaded over it because obviously he would take her side. So there is definitely that happening too, but obviously not like this. And I think they should move out. And if they're unsafe, they need to call like the proper authorities depending on wherever they live and get out of the house. I know it's obviously not easy because there's obvious the financial
But it's
aspect
tough,
to it.
no, to be in a situation like that. I
For
mean, I don't
sure.
think we can even fathom that.
I really don't. And the how it would affect like your mental health, and it's your home is supposed to be your safe space.
Yeah.
So this would make it very difficult. And like I don't know if I know of I don't know if I know anyone who has this exact same story, but there have been instances where certain situations like this have cropped up, but maybe not to this extreme. So it sucks, and I hope you find the strength to move out, whoever this random person is.
Yeah, true. Makes sense.
Yeah, and be safe.
Be safe.
So yeah, that was fun talking about our parents.
For sure.
Yeah, I know for a fact that your mom watches what you do on on social media. I have a feeling my mom might too. So like,
Love you.
yeah,
Adare.
please don't kick us out. I mean, I don't live with her anymore, but you know,
I didn't say anything bad.
Yeah, I mean,
always
we
said
didn't.
This was probably a cleanest episode
I think so too.
where we didn't spill a lot of tea. Necessarily.
Yeah.
So it's a
But
very
I think it's also
clean-
because, again, like we don't necessarily have that
Yeah, we have very good households.
clearly. Very lucky in that way.
Clearly, that doesn't give us a lot of content to talk about.
Yeah, maybe we need somebody more chaotic to sit in the middle.
And then give him therapy. It's okay.
There. But
We are very lucky though.
100%.
lucky, very
100%. And I think like we get to do what we love
Yeah,
because of the foundation that they gave us. So
for sure. Yep, that brings the third episode to a close. Subscribe to the channel.
yay!
Drop a comment if you liked the episode.
Thank you. I know it's
And-
not as there was not a lot of tea spilled.
Yeah, so hopefully episode 4 will be more
Thunderous.
controversial.
That's what you
Alright.
wanted.
Peace out.